What does it mean to live a balanced life? How can the integration of the physical, soul, and spiritual realms lead to true human flourishing? How do educational methods, agricultural practices, and medical treatments transform when viewed through the lens of holistic harmony? These are some of the profound questions addressed by Rudolf Steiner's anthroposophical philosophy. In this exploration, we delve into Steiner's triadic approach, examining how his principles of coexistence, reinforcement, and integration reveal a sophisticated framework for understanding and improving the complexities of life. Through Steiner's insightful quotations and practical applications, we uncover the secrets to achieving balance and harmony in various facets of human existence. At the core of Steiner's anthroposophy is the belief in the essential coexistence of the physical body, the soul, and the spirit. This triad forms the foundation for his view of a balanced human existence. He posits that a true human being emerges only when these three components develop in harmony. Man is not a being consisting of body alone, nor of soul alone, but a being composed of body, soul, and spirit. And only when all three are developed in a balanced way do we have a true human being. Neglecting any one aspect leads to imbalances that distort the whole. For instance, materialism, which prioritizes the physical and denies the spiritual, leads to a death of the soul and a mechanization of the body, indicating a negative equilibrium where the lack of one aspect adversely affects the others. Materialism, which denies the spirit, leads to a death of the soul, a mechanization of the body, and a narrowing of the intellectual horizon. Steiner's educational philosophy, as implemented in Waldorf schools, reflects his triadic approach. Intellectual, artistic, and practical skills are interwoven, with each element reinforcing the others, promoting a rounded development of the child. The heart of the Waldorf method is that education is an art. It must speak to the child's experience. To educate the whole child, their heart and will must be reached, as well as the mind. This method counters the negative feedback loop seen in traditional education systems, where a lack of creativity stifles intellectual and practical engagement, highlighting the detrimental effects of unidimensional approaches. The destruction of the imaginative life of the child through a dry, intellectual education brings about a spiritual death, just as surely as physical neglect causes bodily death. In discussing karma and reincarnation, Steiner introduces another triadic relationship where past actions influence present circumstances, which in turn shape future incarnations. Karma is the underlying law of spiritual life. The present is the result of the past, and the future is the result of the present. This causal chain underscores the importance of spiritual awareness and personal growth, suggesting that negative cycles can be reversed through conscious spiritual development, thus allowing for a transformative reversion of one's karmic paths. Our karma is the result of our own past actions. By transforming ourselves spiritually, we can also transform our karma. Steiner's concept of spiritual science introduces a non-linear relationship among spiritual insights, transformative experiences, and daily life. This triad emphasizes that profound spiritual understanding can lead to significant transformations in mundane existence, which is not always a straightforward path, but involves a complex, iterative process of learning and adaptation. Spiritual science enables us to perceive the spiritual world directly. This perception transforms our inner being and has profound effects on our daily lives. The retrospective aspect comes into play as individuals reflect on their spiritual experiences to gain deeper insights and correct misunderstandings in their current lives. By looking back at our spiritual experiences, we gain insights that guide our present and future actions. Social threefolding is another critical area where Steiner applies his triadic thinking, advocating for the integration of cultural, political, and economic spheres. Each sphere supports and enriches the others, contributing to a healthy social organism. In a healthy social organism, the cultural, political, and economic spheres must be autonomous and mutually supportive. Conversely, when two spheres dominate, the third suffers, leading to societal imbalances and dysfunction, demonstrating the necessity of a balanced, inclusive approach to societal structuring. When economic interests dominate, the cultural and political life are stifled, leading to a diseased social organism. In the field of medicine, particularly anthroposophical medicine, Steiner stresses the conjoined treatment of the body, soul, and spirit. He argues that true healing can only occur when all three dimensions are considered and balanced. True healing can only occur when we address the physical, soul, and spiritual aspects of the human being in a harmonious way. Illnesses often stem from imbalances among these components. Illness often arises from a disruption in the harmonious relationship between body, soul, and spirit. This holistic view extends to his practice of eurythmy, where the harmonization of thought, feeling, and will facilitates overall well-being. Eurythmy is visible speech and song, harmonizing thought, feeling, and will into a unified expression, contrasting sharply with the dissonance experienced when these elements are not aligned. When our inner and outer life are out of harmony, we experience dissonance that affects our entire being. The evolution of human consciousness, according to Steiner, depends on the convergent development of spiritual, intellectual, and cultural facets. The evolution of human consciousness is a process where spiritual, intellectual, and cultural developments converge to lift humanity to higher levels of awareness. Divergence among these leads to stagnation in evolutionary growth, underlining the interconnectedness required for genuine progress. When our intellectual and cultural life diverge from spiritual development, we impede our evolution and growth. Steiner's advocacy for biodynamic agriculture illustrates his commitment to sustainable practices that combine spiritual, ecological, and practical approaches. Biodynamic agriculture integrates spiritual insight, ecological balance, and practical farming to create a truly sustainable system, with a lack of integration leading to unsustainable practices. Without the integration of spiritual, ecological, and practical elements, agriculture cannot be truly sustainable. Similarly, his views on moral imagination and the Goethean scientific method call for an integration of ethical imagination, responsible action, and holistic understanding to fully grasp and interact with the world. Moral imagination allows us to create ethical scenarios and actions, integrating our higher ideals with practical deeds. He warns against the disintegrative effects of reductionist science that ignores holistic understanding. Reductionist science, by ignoring the whole, leads to a fragmented and incomplete understanding of reality. Through these examples, Steiner's triadic approach reveals a profound, interconnected framework that seeks not only to understand the world in all its complexity, but also to improve it by fostering balance and integration across various dimensions of life. His teachings encourage a reflective, inclusive, and harmonious approach to personal and societal development, resonating with those seeking deeper meaning and balance in life.